Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Les Maisons session. We're super happy to have you here. And this is one of our most exciting sessions because this market is completely out of control. And Kristen will tell you
It's
that.
the wild, wild west out here.
It really is. So I know people are joining us from all over. Kristen and I are based in the metro Atlanta area. However, we are seeing and we are hearing from our counterparts all over this country that we are in a seller's market in most parts of this country. And so, what does that mean? And what does that translate into? It translates into a lot of offers for a low amount of inventory. So you will see multiple offers in this market. You are going to see more and more active people. The pandemic has not slowed anybody down as of right now from getting a home if they really truly need it. So what you will see is a lot of active and motivated buyers out there. So what does that mean for you who are sitting at home thinking to yourself, is this a good time for me to sell my home? And we have the answer for you. And we have the stuff that you need to consider before you put your home on the market, and to consider before you begin the process of saying, okay, let me sell my home. And how do I find a new home at the same time? What are the strategies I need to employ in order to make this the best sale that I can possibly do, and also to buy a home that I love as well? So I'm going to also I'm going to kick it off to Kristen, but we have a great array of speakers that we have up for you today,
So
and we are
excited.
going to talk staging. We're going to talk contingency sales. We are going to talk what's going on in the market out there. So let me give you over to Kristen, and Kristen's going to cover some of the nationwide market stats that we're seeing out there.
Yeah, so I'm the stat geek. Um, so let's just take a look at what's going on right now. Hold on one second. Me and my
This is
share.
technology work.
I'm telling you, it's been a while since we've done one of these. So, this chart is basically an absorption analysis. So, what does that mean? What is absorption analysis? It's basically how many months of inventory we have in a particular area. So, I pulled some data from the MLS over the last 3 months at homes priced $150,000 to $350,000. So as you can see from this chart, we have very little inventory. So a balanced market is about 5 to 7 months of inventory. As you can see, we are currently in an extreme seller's market in Atlanta. And this is from Gwinnett County to DeKalb Cobb, all over. So, just looking at these numbers, it's a really great time to sell because there's such low inventory and a lot of buyers, not enough homes. And you can see from this chart, also taken from the MLS, is that this is happening all over the country. So you see in Atlanta, prices have gone up 9% and inventory is down 2%. And I told you, you see how crazy it is here, but look at everywhere else. Like look at Boston, look at Los Angeles, look at Houston, Miami. Their inventory is even less than ours. So, I mean, their values are, again, increased too. So looking at that, it's a great time to buy because a lot of people have increased equity now. And it's, a good time to consider moving into that forever home or that dream house because you can use that equity to move on. And yeah, so that's just a little snapshot into what's going on in the local markets.
And I think we should also talk, and Deanna might be able to talk a little bit more about this, but we are also in a favorable market when it comes to lower interest rates as well. So you will be able to see that, and this is a great segue, of course, because we have our incredible local lending expert. I shouldn't even say local because You could help people everywhere, right? So we are going to hear next from Dianna Thompson with Nexa Mortgage. We are really excited to have her here because she's going to walk you through a little bit about how you should be considering contingency sales when you're thinking about buying a home at the same time as selling. And she can go through a lot of the vocabulary with you because here we just use it as if it is nothing, but she can talk a little bit about the vocabulary and also what you should be considering when you're doing both.
Awesome. Well, first of all, thank you, ladies, for inviting me. I'm so excited. Um, one way we all connected is we had similar beliefs on building generational wealth and educating everyone. And now, like you said, with the pandemic and rates being low, now is the perfect time for if you were considering to buy a home to jumping in and joining a webinar like this, so we can answer your questions. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. Again, my name is Dianna Thompson. I'm currently with Nexa Mortgage, and I've been in the industry for about 14 years. So I've been, we like to say I've been in the industry long enough to see the first crash in 2008 and the second crash now. The difference is I think we were more prepared. So um, even though it's kind of a market crash, it's a good market crash this time. As you ladies mentioned earlier, with the low rates, which I'll cover a little bit later, now's the perfect time to buy. Um, I'm actually licensed in 22 states. So even though Atlanta is my home, I know this is going to be broadcast throughout the United States. We are able to assist other home buyers in other states other than Georgia. And what makes my company and myself different is I am the creator of what's called the Mortgage Blueprint. The Mortgage Blueprint is a specialized program we created to take you from if you have okay to bad credit or whatever your situation is stopping you from buying a home, and it enables you to get in your home in the next 90 days. Sometimes it's a credit challenge, sometimes it's just paying off debt. Whatever your challenge is, we work with you one on one to create an individualized blueprint and make a action plan that gets you in that home. One of those things we do is we're definitely partner with great real estate partners in your local area because sometimes that's a challenge too, not knowing who to go to and where to start. So that's part of what we partner you up with the correct people to get you started. So we got a few questions in I would like to cover. And like you said, one of the most popular questions right now, um, should they buy their next home while they currently own a home, or should they wait to sell first? You hit the nail on the head earlier. Normally, sometimes I would say sell your house first, but it is definitely a seller's market. Um, I've seen houses, the trend the last few months, if not longer, as soon as a house goes on the market, it sells that same day. So, to answer that question, there's no need to wait. As soon as you probably list your house, it's gonna sell. So, and then when you find another house, you're gonna make an offer really quickly. So the ladies would help you do what's called a contingency offer. When I do a pre-approval letter, we just put this offer is contingent on you selling your other house. Um, Again, it's a really fast seller's market, so there's no reason to hold back to sell your house if that's one of the things you're thinking about. And obviously, we'll talk about staging later. Staging actually, I don't want to give the wrong stat, but our records show that staging a home sells it 10 times faster. So that's one reason we're going to cover that today as well. So staging it, you'll probably list it, sell it in the same day, and then thank you. And then you'll go ahead and be able to buy your next home quickly as well. Another question we had is how have the mortgage rules changed since the pandemic? It's like the wild, wild west. It started with the bigger banks like Chase. Immediately they went from requiring a 720 score and 20% down. Previously, a week before, most lenders were doing a 580 score with 3.5% down. So if you had, been working on your plan for a few months, even, a year, and all of a sudden it went from a 580 score to a 720 score, that really defeated a lot of people. The good news is I'm what's called a mortgage broker. So we are partnered with over 90 lenders nationwide. So we have programs for everyone. We have programs for the self-employed. Um, if you have to go what's called alternative documents with bank statements. And again, we're still able, because we're a private lender, to still offer loans at a 580 score, where a lot of other local banks and bigger banks aren't allowed to. But the biggest thing is, no matter what score you have, the biggest change is they really, really want someone with clean credit. So one of the first things we do is what's called a soft pull. A soft pull is a little bit different than a hard pull. A hard pull is where you will see it on your credit. So when you go apply for a credit card or a car, things like that, that'll pop up. And that sometimes if you have too many hard pulls, that can lower your score. So our company, we pride on not having too many hard pulls until we're 100% sure you're ready to go. So we'll do a little sneak peek, I call it, a little soft pull. And if we see anything that the lender might question, that's part of what we put in that blueprint action plan for you. We'll help you pay off or remove certain items if we need to, because we want you to get the best rate and have the best opportunity to close on a house. Going back to what I said earlier about it being a seller's market, um, it's so competitive that sometimes as a lender we're getting requests to see that you have a full approval, not just a pre-approval, a full approval. So we definitely want to set you up. I've seen some clients say there was 30 offers on one house. So we're going to make sure that once you're ready and you make an offer, your offer is one of the offers that is accepted.
And I just want to interject very quickly because I know that there are some people who are sitting and they're watching and they're saying to themselves, well, I haven't actually bought a house in so long. I've been in my house for a long period of time. So even though technically the process hasn't changed that much, there are still some things to consider, like you were talking about, that have changed in the recent past. What are some of the things that people can do that they may not be as familiar with the process now, or they may not remember what they need? But what are some of the things that they can do to try to avoid some of the challenges that kind of come up when in the lending process, so the contingency sale goes as smoothly as possible?
Okay. The biggest thing as lenders that we face is definitely getting a correct pre-approval. I'm sure you run into it where people say, "Oh, I'm ready to buy," and I know you guys are seasoned, so you probably don't do this anymore. But they'll just start telling you they're ready and go looking, and no one's pulled their credit. No one's and it's more than just credit. I know we stress on credit, but it's also job history. So let me just go over the top 4 or 5 things that we see that you can control before you come to either one of us that will make you most successful. We actually have a little cheat sheet that I can share with everyone. I'll make sure that when you guys post it, it's a sheet. We call it the 10 Commandments, the do's and don'ts of buying a home. I'll just cover a few today. The biggest one is pay your bills on time. I know that sounds really basic, but the best advice I can give you is pay your bills on time, at least for 12 months. We understand things happen. We understand life changes. We understand we just went through a pandemic. So there is a little leeway on things, but overall, pay your bills on time. And the way I say this is if you can't pay a $25 credit card, how are you going to be able to pay a $2,000 mortgage? That's how a bank looks at it. So the biggest advice I can give you is try to pay your bills on time for at least 12 months. Another big one is please, please, please do not co-sign, do not buy any furniture, do not get any new debt while you're looking for a home. Yes, yes, yes. I know Ashley Furniture had that, Labor Day special or whatever, but that can kill your deal, especially if you're in the middle of a contract. We share a story sometimes when we talk to people. We call it the Maserati house. We had a client that we had worked with for several months, got his credit up. He bought the brand new house from ground up, all the upgrades, everything he wanted. It was his dream house. We were about a week away from closing, and he went and bought a Maserati. Well, what people don't realize is just because I pre-approved you, just because you're almost ready to close, the lenders do this little sneaky thing where a couple days, even sometimes the same day before closing, they'll pull your credit. Well, they saw Maserati of Atlanta on there, and they kind of questioned that. And he said, "Oh yeah, I just bought a Maserati." Well, that of course threw his numbers and ratios off. So he lost that house after all that work and energy. I hate to be so dramatic about it, but that is a true story. We all call it the Maserati house because instead of getting a house, he ended up with a Maserati. So I cannot stress enough because in the co-borrower is the big thing. People sometimes don't understand when you co-borrower, even though it's not your car, even though it's not your account, you are equally responsible. So if it's something you sign your name on, regardless if it's your debt or your car, it's going to show up on your credit. And that's something we have to consider when we're trying to qualify you. So that's the big thing. No, do not buy anything. Do not co-sign for anyone. And then the last thing is proper employment. Anything with a mortgage, they like consistency. We call it the laws of the twos. They want 2 paycheck stubs, 2 years of 2 years of tax returns, 2 years of W-2s. They like anything in the twos. So the other big thing we find sometimes is people have switched jobs or they went from a W-2 employee to starting their own business. The biggest thing is consistency. So the lenders like to see 2 years of consistent income. If it's self-employed, regular W-2 paycheck stuff, whatever it is, 2 years of work history is the other big thing we see sometimes.
No, I think that's really, really important because, as I said, things have remained the same through all of these years, through mortgage lending at the foundation. However, there are now new products that you have, new services that you have, especially for those who are self employed. I think this is one of the big things that has changed so much in the industry. And we actually did have a question as well. So I'll just interject right now and ask. We have a very specific question. Somebody wants to know if you operate in Connecticut and also do you provide discounts for educators?
That is an awesome question. Yes, I am licensed in Connecticut, East Coast in the house. And yes, we offer several programs, like you said. That is what we call our. I'm a preferred lender for a program called Homes for Heroes. Homes for Heroes covers educators, police officers, military, and I'm sure I'm missing one. Teachers, police officers. Oh, there's a question. Police officers, military, doctors. I think I covered all of them. So yes, we actually have 100% financing programs for those programs, and we also right now offer an additional $1,500 grant for educators. That's something I personally think educators, especially now that I homeschool my children, I definitely appreciate our educators. So we definitely have some programs specific just for them.
That's wonderful. I know we've heard so much about that program. So that is something that is out there and is available to people. And I think that that's absolutely a bonus for a lot of people who are considering buying right now. And I think you've covered so many different things so far. And I think all of them are so integral, especially when you're talking about contingency sales. Just good thing, if I can reiterate, making sure all your paperwork is together, making sure, and I'll say this personally on behalf of Kristen and I, just making sure that you're responsive to deliverable times, the timelines. These are very important, and your real estate professional will help you stay on top of those deliverables. But when you're asking somebody to provide a piece of documentation, it's not because you're trying to make their life miserable. It's because you really need that documentation, and that documentation goes to your underwriters, who are there to make sure that this is a good deal for your institution.
Yeah, and I love the Maserati story because I also do. Once we go under contract, I send them a copy of the 10 Commandments in like that initial "we're under contract" email. Don't do anything, be still. And I have a similar story that I share from a colleague. Didn't happen to me. None of my clients have done this, thank the Lord. Maybe because I scare them, but where someone went out and bought furniture on credit 2 days before they moved into a house. So they had a house full of furniture, but no house. So yeah, so thank you for that. That's a thing that a lot of people forget about. So yeah, that is great. Thank you. Do we have any other questions? I don't see any more. So Lucia, did you have another question, or are we good?
No, I think that we're good. I think we covered a lot. And obviously, if you have any specific questions and you want to talk about your specific situation, then it's best to reach out. And Kristen just put that banner up. This is for you to have a consultation with Dianna. And this is one of the best ways to reach her, to schedule your consultation. And then I think we have some more information about how you can reach out as well.
Yeah, we'll also drop this in the comments.
Right. And don't forget, like I said, we know people are coming from all over the country. Kristen and I are both licensed realtors. We can put you in touch with somebody in your area that can help you meet your particular needs. So please just reach out to us. We're happy to do that. We have an entire network around this country that we can help reach out and find you somebody.
Yeah, someone just asked for your contact information, so there it is.
I think somebody's interested.
Yes, there we go.
So I think this is a good segue, Kristen, to talk a little bit about how to get the most dollar. Obviously, through your real estate professional, we're doing that, but we want to introduce you to another way of getting the best top dollar, I would say, for your particular sale, so that you can put it into a new sale.
Absolutely. So thank you, Dianna. We're going to bring Kim in. There we go.
Hey, hello, everybody. Yes, hi, this is Kim Ormsby with VIP Staging. Good evening, everybody. And I just wanted to say hi to Miss Jeanette, who's watching online. I'm actually from Connecticut originally, so hello to you. Make that connection. Yes, we're with VIP Staging Atlanta, and we offer home staging in the greater Atlanta area. And I do want to start out by saying, because we have an audience from all over the country, we also can do virtual consultations. We're not in a position to bring you furniture, but we can FaceTime or whatever. You can walk me through your house, and I can consult you to getting your home staged the way you need it to be for top dollar.
Awesome. So we got a stat from NAR that basically says that 95% of stage homes sell in 11 days or less, and they sell 87% faster than homes that are unstaged. So we just want to, this is the seller's market, but still stage homes have a better kind of appeal. So we just want you to, talk a little bit about that.
Okay. And I do have some slides that I'll show after as well. One of the things, the last 3 homes that we've staged in the past month have all closed within 5 weeks. So while yes, it's a seller's market, but there's a lot of competition, and you want to make sure that you're presenting your home in the best possible light. And also you want to create multiple competition between buyers. You want to have the multiple offers. Okay, so you can get the highest and the best offer for your home, so you can take that money and apply it to your new home that you're moving into. And staging is the way to do that. And people ask, well, exactly what is staging? So staging is where you come and present your home and make it appeal to the most buyers in a way that is neutral. And I like to say clean and neutral. So I have my house decorated and I love my house the way it is. I think it's great and I think it's awesome. And I think everybody else should like it as well. But the reality is everyone has different tastes and don't necessarily like what you like, or you don't like what I like. So what I would do is come into your home and make it neutral to appeal to the general masses. And I hate to, constantly say, okay, when you watch the shows on HGTV, everything is generally light colored, everything is pretty neutral with a pop of color. That's how we like the stage. And it's got to be more contemporary, transitional furniture. A lot of people have heavy, big sectionals, big recliners. You want to present your home so it looks spacious. You don't want it cluttered. You don't want it full. You want neutral paint colors, neutral rugs. You need to, we can come in and we like to be totally honest with people. Your house is wonderful and it's cute, but you have dogs, or you smoke in the house. So those things need to be addressed because people are going to come in, and a lot of times people go into a home and they hit the front door and they're like, I don't want to go in because there's something in the air that's offending them. Okay. And you could have the best house out there, but it's got to be inviting. And you want people to come in and feel comfortable, come in and sit down, sit on the sofa, have a conversation, feel the space. You want them to feel comfortable and say, yeah, I can see myself living here. And that's what staging does. People ask, what do I need to stage the whole house? And no, you don't. Generally, what we do is we stage the main living areas, meaning the living room, the dining room, the kitchen, and we'll dress the kitchen. If you've got a newer home, you don't have a lot of space in the kitchen, except you might have a big island with bar stools. Well, we can come in, make that all look cute. And you also want to do the master because that's one of the rooms people are going to look at. They're going to pay attention to your kitchen. They're going to pay attention to your bathrooms and the master and the main living area. So those are the areas we generally focus on. Make sure that master looks fabulous. You want it to be comfortable, but again, not crowded with a lot of heavy furniture where people feel like they can't walk around the beds. You want to make sure that your closets are spacious so that they can see their clothes in there. If you've got too many clothes in there, people are going to go, oh, the closets are too small, whether they are or not. So those are the things we do. We dress the bathrooms, you want to make sure everything is clean, everything is tight, and again, appealing to the mass number of people so that everybody comes in and goes, I love this house, I want it. We also work with odd spaces. So for instance, if you're in an older home in Atlanta, in the downtown area, there's a lot of older homes that have smaller rooms. So you're like, what are we going to do with that space? We can make it into a little office, which is very important now for people to come in and say, okay, I can work at home. There's space for me to work at home, or we can turn it into a nursery or a kid's room and make that usable space. So people don't say, what am I going to do with this? We can present it in a way where they can come in and say, aha, I can see that working for us as well. And I'd like to go ahead and share my screen and show a few slides if there weren't any questions.
That sounds great. And I will say that as a realtor, I've always thought of staging as almost a palette. And you're just helping people so that they can envision what their palette is going to end up looking like in the end. So what you do is so important because it appeals to not 100% of buyers. However, it appeals to the vast majority of buyers.
Exactly.
It's very clean, very easy for people to be able to see themselves and envision their own furniture, their own taste in it. It's just a nice, clean palette. And I think that's really the bonus for a lot of the home sellers who are out there. They're going to be able to have that opportunity because this is not in everybody's wheelhouse. This is what you do. You're seeing every day what people are interested in as far as interior decorating and how to make the space look the best possible.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen.
Let us know if you have any issues, and then maybe Kristen and I can try to help you.
Okay, I think I did it.
We're not seeing anything here, but we might have to make you, Kristen, we might have to make Kim a presenter as well. As you can see, everything's on the fly, technical.
No, anybody should be able to share their screen. It's not like Zoom.
Okay, can you see it now? It says, I have a thing that says stop sharing, so I think I'm sharing.
We see it now.
You do?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I want to go over the top 10 reasons to stage your home. Okay. And let's go ahead and get started. Number 10 is you will make a lot more money. Okay. One of the things that staging does is it allows you to, again, drive up the offers, drive up the interest. Okay. And you're competing against your neighbors. So if your home is staged and theirs not, yours is more appealing. If yours is empty, empty rooms don't necessarily sell. People want to see furniture in it. And it also gives them an idea of, can their furniture fit in that space? Is if they have to go and buy new furniture, or can they just come and move their stuff right in? So staging will get you a lot more money. Number 9 is the cost of staging doesn't cost a dime. And in terms of that, when a seller spends an average of 5% of the value of their home on staging, they saw an average of 1,000% return on their investment. Staging is not that expensive when you think about what you're getting and how you're presenting and what it's bringing to the table for you. So you are going to get your money back at the end. You have that money up front, but when you sell your home and you sell it for more than what you were asking for, you're going to get that money back. Number 8, your house will sell faster. As was mentioned earlier, homes that are staged sell 11, I think you said 11 days faster. And as I had mentioned before, that the last 3 homes that we staged sold within a month and closed within a month. Okay, so that's the kind of action you want to see. You want to be like, put it on the market. Like today, it's mid-September. You want to be closing the end of October. Number 7, buyers can visualize themselves living there. And I had mentioned that earlier. That is so important for people to come in. It feels good. It feels right. And they're like the kid, if they have kids, the kids feel at home. And one of the things that we can do too with as staging, if you're an empty nester, but you live in a neighborhood where, originally when you moved in, it was families, and now it's a lot of people with younger kids, we can stage that home for geared towards people who have that furniture or don't even want to do that. But those are the things that we can do so that when those people come in, they can say, yes, okay, that's Susie's room, that's Johnny's room, love the yard, that type of thing. And they can see themselves. That's the whole big thing. And I think the ladies can agree with me. When your buyers come in and they feel good and they love the space right away, I mean, that's huge. That's a huge point.
Absolutely.
Number 6, online photos will make your home stand out. So, when you're looking online looking at homes and you see rooms that are empty versus rooms that are staged, you're naturally more attracted to the homes that are staged. They have plants, they have pictures, they have furniture. It just looks nice. And even if it's not something that is what you initially are looking for, you're still attracted to it. So people, everyone's looking online at everything, especially now. So you want to go ahead and have that staging done so that your house will look better versus the competition online. Number 5, and this is, let's get real, all right? You as a home seller, you cannot be objective about your own home. I can't either, and I do this for a living. I think my stuff looks great. Well, you know what? You may not, and you may be turned off by the ethnic pieces that I have in my home, or you're in a transitional neighborhood. You've got to appeal to everybody. Okay, so again, we can come in and help you declutter, get rid of stuff. You want to make sure that people can easily move around the house. You don't want hallways blocked or paths blocked. You can't have that table in front of your sliding glass doors or in front of your French doors. People want to be able to get outside easily. And just the things that you've gotten used to over time, we can come in and help you tighten that up. Okay, so some people kind of get bent out of shape, but hey, it's all about the dollar. We want you to get top dollar, and we can help you do that. Number 4, your home's flaws can be overlooked. So this is maybe a little secret, but we stage a lot of homes, and sometimes there's things that are not quite right with them, and we're good at hiding it. So again, if you have awkward rooms that are too small, we can turn them into something special. If you have a closet that is just way too small, we can kind of disguise it and make people focus on something else. If the floors are not right, or if you have carpets that are stained or messed up, we can help hide some of that stuff and distract people from seeing it. So that's something that you might want to think about as well. Number 3, you can relax. Let the professionals come in. We can come in and take care of it for you. Make sure that everything is done and in order so you can get a quick sale and you will not leave any money on the table, and we will have people fighting over your home. All right, and that's our ultimate goal. 2, most agents consider it a critical necessity, and it is a necessity. And I want to say this, we've talked about staging. We also do consultations. And I would say if you think you don't want to do staging, you definitely want to get a consultation. We can just come in, walk through your home, and help you see it from an outsider's eye, and kind of walk you through your home and tell you what things you need to do to tighten it up. If there's that may mean changing artwork, that may mean new bedding. It's a simple thing that people tend to not look at. You want to have fresh bedding. Okay, you're used to it, you're comfortable with it, but tighten it up, clean out your closets, clean out your pantries, things like that. We can come in and help you walk through it. You may need to change some things in the bathroom, get new fixtures, little things like that. Again, you've just gotten used to it, but we can come in with a critical eye and help you walk through and give you a list of things to do to get your home in shape with a consultation if necessary. And for someone to say they don't need it done, I'm going to call them on the carpet. It needs to be done from at least, you need to come in and just tighten it up and clean it up for your buyers. Just for the fact of just having a fresh look. It just may be something as simple as, let's just put on a fresh coat of paint. Okay, so that's part of what we do in our consultations. It could be something as simple as taking care of your yard a little bit better and trimming the landscaping, things like that, planting flowers, getting those dead flowers out of the pots that have been there forever that you don't even see anymore. Just little things like that make a huge difference. And our number 1 reason is not staging will only help your competition. Okay, you've got other homes on your block that are for sale, and that's your competition. You want to make sure your house presents itself better than the rest. And it could be something as simple as your house might be a little bit smaller than theirs, and so they would automatically have a higher listing price because they have more square footage. But if you stage your house right, you can create those multiple offers driving up the price and get that offer. Okay. All right. And just wanted to follow up with giving you our contact information. Again, it's VIP Staging Atlanta. Our website is www.vipstagingatlanta.com. And you can reach us at 404-921-3120. And again, we're here in the Atlanta area, and we also can do virtual stagings for you. And I'd be happy to help you get your home ready for a quick and fast sale.
So you covered so much. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Because I feel like even I learned something from that. I thought I knew it all, huh? But I did want to bring this up because I know that I've gotten this question a lot. One of the questions that a lot of people have is they will say, well, I don't need staging because I actually don't live in the home I'm about to sell. It's actually an investment home, or it's a home that may have been an estate home. So what do I necessarily need staging for? And people, I think, always imagine that you're coming in, you're taking their things out, and you're putting your stuff in. But sometimes there really is just a vacant home. And I wanted to kind of have you talk a little bit about how you approach a home that's not inhabited versus a home that people are still living in.
Okay, so that's a great question. And I would say 60% of the homes that we stage are vacant. Because we work with a lot of investors. Okay, so a lot of times investors will buy a home, rehab it, and then sell it. And if the home is empty, especially with the open concept that we have now, the open concept layout, you need furniture in it because people can't figure out, and not to be sexist, but men are more visual. Sit there and look at how can I work this space? You have a big might have been 3 or 4 rooms chopped up in an old house, and now it's all open space. How do I lay that space out? So with our staging, we go in and we can create the vignettes, the different rooms in a bigger room, and create those spaces, those more intimate spaces, so people can see themselves, see how they can entertain. Because one of the things that we do now is we always stage with a entertaining aspect. So we have the mobile bars and all that kind of stuff that we put in our staging in the homes that we're staging. You have your formal dining area, you have your informal area around, because most of the houses now have the islands with the bar stools in them. And then we have our living area that you can see from the kitchen. And there's not that formal dining room, living room space that, the more traditional homes have. So we go in and we break those spaces up, set it up for entertaining, thinking about how people want to live. Especially we look at the neighborhood and, is it families? Is it singles or couples without kids? Kind of set it up for, does it need to be open and be kind of kid friendly, or does it need to be open and more party friendly or entertaining? The yard space, does it open up to the backyard? How is that deck set up? We also stage the decks and the patio areas as well. But we just go in and kind of go in and visualize. I go look at the neighborhood, look at the house. Is the house more traditional? Is it more contemporary? Is it transitional? And just go in, and depending on, I'll talk to the realtor, talk to the homeowner, and see what type of clients they envision bringing in, and we twist it and tailor it to that ideal customer.
No, that's great. And I did definitely wanted to cover that because I know so many people have kind of that misconception that staging is only for a particular person or for a particular home. So staging goes all the way across and runs the gamut.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's why that is so important to cover. And I am so happy that you came and you talked all about this, because I think this is one of the keys that people are thinking about when they're selling their home. How will I need to kind of make changes in order to have my home sell for the most?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, I know that Kristen is hiding in the wings, so she'll come out. But I thought this was great, and I did actually have another question. It was a lending question, so we're gonna have all of our panelists here right now. But I know that, and I got a personal text from someone who had a question and was too shy to say it. But they wanted to know a little bit about the timeline when you're doing a contingency sale. I think their question was more around if they feel like how much time do they really need to build in between selling their home, moving, and then the new place that they're going to buy? Like, how long typically do contingency sales last? And I know there's nothing typical, and we'll tell you that there's nothing typical. But if you could kind of walk through how the process will work, I think it'd give people a better idea and will help answer somebody's question.
All right, awesome. Well, like you said, that's a really excellent question. In my experience, especially as we said earlier, houses are selling as quickly as they're listed. Typically, it takes 24, 48 hours to get a regular pre-approval. That's still the same. And then when your house is, so they list your house at the same time. What we like to do, because the process honestly moves pretty quickly, the person that's buying your house and you also getting ready to buy the new house, a typical closing still takes about 30 days. There have been a few delays due to COVID-19, but most of those have kind of wavered out. So a typical closing from the time you sign the paperwork till you get the little keys in your hand is typically about 30 days, 45 at the most. So that really doesn't change with a contingency offer. It does probably lean more towards the 45 maybe, because by the time you both sell your houses, you both have to move out, cleaning, things like that. So I would say final answer 45 days from time you sign the contract until you actually move into your new home. That gives you kind of a 2-week leeway to wrap up what you're doing with me and preparing your house and getting movers and things like that to get into your new house.
Right. And I think this is another time to talk about how important these partnerships are between you, your realtor, your lender, as well as the closing attorney, because the closing attorney will also help you to stay on your timeline. And of course, once you introduce staging, that helps set you apart as well, so that that timeline can be a little bit more accelerated, we hope.
Absolutely.
So all facets are really important. And I know that question, if people are a little bit shy about asking things like that, but that question does come up a lot because there is a little bit more of an apprehension around a contingency sale, but we try to make it as smooth as possible. But we just have to keep in mind, and as you talked about the 10 commandments, we also want to talk about making sure you stick to those deadlines, because in a contingency sale, those deadlines are even more important than even in a regular sale. And Kristen and I can talk from experience that it's a juggling act. So we juggle mostly for you, but we can't unfortunately fill out all the paperwork.
All right.
Awesome.
So yeah, so awesome. Trying to think if there was one thing. So these wonderful guests that we have, thank you again so much for the information. And I did scroll for Kim. Kim, can you tell us a little bit more about your wonderful offer that you're going to give people who are watching this video?
Yes, we are offering, VIP Staging is offering a 2-hour staging consultation for just $199, and that is through the end of October. And also, if you need to get it virtually, we can offer it virtually as well. And again, that's $199 for a 2-hour staging consultation.
Mention Les Maisons Partners.
Yes.
To take advantage of this offer. And Dianna also has something special to offer. What do you have for our wonderful watchers and listeners?
Hello. I have also posted it in our chat. I will post it again. But for anyone that fills out an application, I did say for today, but I forgot this is going on the internet. So I will honor this for the next 7 days. Anyone that fills out an application, I know you may or may not be approved, but anyone that fills out an application at our website and is actively trying to buy a home, we will send you, if you're not here in Atlanta, we will mail you a $25 gift card.
We love that.
We love our partners and we love the giving. Thank you so much. So, so you have the mortgageblueprint.com, the website to go to fill out the application. The application is on that website.
That is correct.
And if you have any specific questions about a specific situation that you might have, whether your investment home or your personal home, and that you're considering sales, even if you're not, as we mentioned before, even if you're not in Atlanta, just contact Kristen or I, and we'll be able to help get you in touch with the people that you need in order to make this happen for you.
Yeah, and so we kind of touched on a little bit about the contingency and kind of what our part is in this whole process. So basically, I like to talk about our role, just like 3 major things with the sale of your home. One, price it right. That's half the battle of listing a home, is making sure it's priced right. The worst thing that you can do is price the home above the market. Even in the seller's market, you just want as many eyes as possible on your home. 2, market the property well. I think one of the wonderful things about Les Maisons Partners is one of the partners, Nasia, is a former marketing exec. So you have that built-in expertise as a part of our team, and that's been very helpful to us when we've listed homes for our wonderful clients. And finally, negotiate. That's the part of having professionals, whether it's lending, whether it's with the staging. That's the importance of having a professional. We're there to help you evaluate offers. What makes a good offer? Just because you get an offer that's maybe $30,000 over asking price, we may be able to break that down and let you know, just because that's the most, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the best offer. So those kinds of things, and helping you negotiate repairs and concessions and contingency. So that's a part of the service that we provide as your real estate agent. And in addition, we have some other great programs that I want to share with you. So if you're concerned about the contingency, you're still not sure, as a part of Keller Williams, we have 2 great programs that could just be another option for you. So we have one program called Keller Offers. With Keller Offers, you have the opportunity to sell your home via a cash offer, and then you can go on and just buy the home that you want to buy on your timeline. This is more for people who don't want to move several times or the timeline isn't quite working out for them. We also have a wonderful program called Homeward that we work with, where they will basically pay cash. This market is very competitive. So some of our buyers are finding that they're not able, they have to do several offers before they get their home. So this is making you competitive in the market. So you get to offer a cash offer on your new home, and you'll kind of rent the home back until your home sells. The great thing about this market, homes are selling fast. So you don't have to worry about a lot of lag time if you're still a little anxious about the contingency sale. So so we have a lot of great things. We have great partners to assist you in getting your home sold and getting you into your forever home, your dream home, your next home. And if that doesn't work out, we can still work with Dianna with these programs. So we're excited. So we have some other things to offer you just to make sure that you're meeting your particular deadlines and getting you home in the time period that you want to get to your next home.
So, and I think that the biggest thing is we're going to be your advocate. We're on your side. And the same thing that you should feel about your stager, you should feel about your mortgage partner. All the folks here are working so that they can provide as seamless a service as possible and to get you what you need. So please think of us as a team. So we're all a team working together to get your home sold and to get you into your next dream home as quickly as possible. So I think that we've covered so much. Again, we're going to post this so that you will be able to reach out to anybody that you talked that you heard from today, and they can talk about your specific needs. But we've covered it all, ladies.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. And also, we'll post this in the YouTube, absolutely. If our free seller's guide, if you have any other questions or just want to read through the process, we will also get that over to you as well.
Okay, thanks for joining.
Thank you. Bye.